Box is just called Pennsylvania. Donald Trump will probably be live in a little bit. Let's take a look, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. There it is.
If Joe Biden were still on the ticket tonight, who knows what tonight might have even looked like. That he has been able to accomplish this, it is nothing short of astonishing and amazing. And also I think about Susie Wiles, who's his campaign manager, very quiet, does not like the limelight. Is Fox a reliable call?
Yes, they are. Too late to start the steal. Start the steal! Start the steal! What are we doing? Oh, I'm losing my mind a little bit. I'm going to the Capitol! Trump is coming on now. Holy moly. Oh my God. 500,000 people are watching. Oh my God. Oh my God. What is happening with this AP feed, bro? They're already cutting the broadcast license of AP. They already cut it. AP's got no motion.
And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help.
He always does this shit. He always does this like fake unity. He did this in 2016 as well. After fucking saying he's going to kill Democrats.
We made history for a reason tonight.
I can't wait for Evangelist to cry and be like, he's looking real presidential, sir.
We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy?
Trump won. Cry more, Hasan. I'm sorry that I'm not sufficiently crying.
Our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president.
Yeah, you have to support the elected president if you want your country to thrive. Yeah, totally. That's why Republicans were so supportive of Biden. Shut the fuck up, dumbass.
And your future. Every single day I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have. This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. Oh, and in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places. Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. We are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes, but it's much easier doing what the networks did or whoever called it, because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great. Very proud of that. And I want to thank Mike Johnson. I think he's doing a terrific job. Terrific job. I want to also thank my beautiful wife, Melania, First Lady.
Damn, poor Melania. Now she has to fucking act like she loves this man for 4 more years. He could have gone to prison. Melania could have been free.
Selling book in the country. Can you believe that?
Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey. I thank you for the trust that you placed in me. And I think that we just witnessed the greatest political comeback in the history of the United States of America. And under President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children. And after the greatest political comeback in American history, we're going to lead the greatest economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
Who did you say? Oh, let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon. Now he is.
The worst people.
Now he's an amazing guy. We were sitting together tonight. You know, he spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and different parts of Pennsylvania campaigning. You know, he sent the rocket up 2 weeks ago, and I saw that rocket, and I saw it coming down. I saw it. It was, when it left, it was beautiful, shiny white. When it came down, it didn't look so pretty. It was going 10,000 miles an hour, and it was burning like hell. I said, what happened to your paint job? He said, we've never made a paint that could withstand that kind of heat. And but I saw it come down and turn around. And it was, you know, it's like 22 stories tall, by the way. It looks a little smaller than that, but it's big. And it came down, and you saw that fire burning. And I'm saying,
we're back. We're back, dude.
And I told the story. I told it last night. I had a man on the phone. I had the screen muted, no sound. I was talking to a very important man, happens to be here tonight, very important guy.
I like that the American transfer of power is happening from one demented old white man to the next demented old white man. That's cool.
Know, I was president, and now it looks like I was going to be maybe president again, so I figured I could ask him to hold. So I asked him to hold, and especially because you're going to be president again, they hold. So I took the phone down, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm seeing this crazy thing that's going around and coming down. It looks like it's going to crash into the gantry. And I said, oh, no. And I said, do me a favor. Do you mind holding for a couple of minutes? I want to see this. I thought it was a space-age movie or something. I put the phone down. Bad part, I didn't pick it up for 45 minutes, and he was holding. But this spaceship came down, and I saw those engines firing, and it looked like it was over. It was going to smash, and then I saw the fire pour out from the left side, and I put it straight, and it came down so gently, and then it wrapped those arms around it, and it held it, and just like you hold your baby at night, your little baby. And it was a beautiful thing to see, and I called Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He said, yes, it was. I said, who else can do that? Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the United States do it other than you? No, nobody can do that. I said, that's why I love you, Elon. That's great.
Bro, he's glazing.
But he's a character. He's a special guy. He's a super genius. We have to protect our geniuses. We don't have that many of them. And we also have a man, Dana White, who has done some job. He's a tough guy. So Dana started UFC and came to me, do you mind if I use your, nobody wanted to give him a rinse because they said it's a rough sport, a little rough. And I helped him out a little bit, and I went, and they said, this is the roughest sport I've ever seen, but I began to like it, and he loved it, and nobody's done a better job in sports. And you know, he's a very motivational kind of a guy, what he does. He gets these fighters, and they really go at it. And it's become one of the most successful sports enterprises anywhere at any time. It's doing so well. I'd like to ask Dana just to say a couple of words.
Who are these people on stage? It's the Trump family, dude. Extended. Extended edition. Extendo.
Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves this more than his family does. This is what happens when the machine comes after you. What you've seen over the last several years, this is what it looks like. Couldn't stop him. He keeps going forward. He doesn't quit. He's the most resilient, hard-working man I've ever met in my life. His family are incredible people. This is karma, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves this. They deserve it as a family. I want to thank some people real quick. I want to thank the Nelk boys, Aiden Ross, Theo Vaughn, busting with the boys, and last but not least, the mighty and powerful Joe Rogan.
No!
And thank you, America. Thank you. Have a good night.
What is this country? Hey, yo! Whoa! We're done. We're done.
No, he's really an amazing guy. But most of all, I want to thank the millions of hardworking Americans across the nation who have always been the heart and soul of this really great movement.
It's over. It's over.
We've been through so much together, and today you showed up in record numbers to deliver a victory.
He said Aiden Ross. Shouts out to Aiden Ross.
So I just want to say that on behalf of this great group of people, these are hard-working people. These are
He said, "Shouts out to the Nelk boys on a presidential,
a few names like Robert
on a presidential
Kennedy
victory
Jr.
speech, bro."
And he's going to help make America healthy again.
Harris got Minnesota, bro. We've moved on. We've moved on. Harris got Minnesota. We've moved on. We're thanking Nelk boys now. We're thanking podcasters, okay, for all the work they put in to elect Donald Trump as our president.
In history, they've never seen any
We've so moved on. Minnesota might not exist at this point.
And we have
I don't even know. Does it even exist? What are states? I have forgotten key information.
Many people have told me that God spared my life for a reason.
Oh, God, he has the heavens mandate, dude.
And that reason was to save our country.
He has the heavens. He thinks he has the heavens mandate.
And now we are going to fulfill that mission together. We're going to fulfill that mission. Just as I did in my first term, we had a great first term, a great first term. I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Before people can chirp about how, Hasan, you don't understand. What do you mean tack to the right? Like, this country is so right-wing. That's why Kamala Harris lost. I will remind you, I'm making my prediction just like I said when Joe Biden became the president. I told you cancel culture and culture wars were back on the menu, and it came back in a big way. Donald Trump is going to put forward some of the most devastating immigration, anti-immigrant policies, and you are going to recognize, just like with the aftermath of the Roe v. Wade decision, that many Americans, turns out, shockingly, did not want that. But it doesn't matter. Because but at that point, it'll be too late, just like with the abortion shit. It was too fucking late by the time everyone was like, oh, I guess like Americans weren't too fond of abortion restrictions. It's too late. It's always too fucking late. You wanted a Somali people in your house? What? Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, just because Donald Trump is president doesn't mean you get to be as racist as you want to be. Like, if you do that, just like they fucking tried it last time in 2016, you'll get clapped up real fucking quick. Like, this shit happened in 2016. All the Nazis were like, oh, that's great. We can be openly Nazi. And then they got their shit punched, okay? If the government won't handle it, the people will, okay? At a certain point, you just got to rely on other people. And they did. That's why Unite the Right rally number 1 was massively attended. Unite the Right rally number 2 was not. Someone's salty. You can fucking complain about it all day, every day, okay? Donald Trump winning is not going to do anything for you, okay? Your only asset to your name is a hand-me-down, busted-ass Honda Civic that you got from your fucking older brother, and you're not even going to have sex in it. A lot of you dumb motherfuckers literally fantasize about like how Trump is going to be so much better for the country. It's like, no, dude, you're a fucking idiot. You're still going to work in your dead-end job at Auntie Anne's at the fucking mall, and shit's going to still suck, okay? Your boss is still going to fuck you over and probably fuck your girlfriend, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. You understand me? Stop placing your fucking hope on idiotic people like Donald Trump. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about you. Fix your life. It's cope. You are mad, dude. I'm not mad. I'm sad. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. I expected this. I expected this outcome. I wasn't going to be happy even if Kamala Harris won regardless. The only pleasure, I guess, that I would have derived out of it is if the conservatives were being owned, right? And that's probably what you're doing here. And that is the reality. It doesn't matter. Both parties suck. They don't care about you. And the only thing that helps you feel better about it is like at least your perceived enemies are losing something. I ain't losing shit. My life is going to be the same. Your life is going to be the same. If it's going good, it's probably going to continue going in a good direction. But the fact that you're in here right now on the night of Donald Trump's electoral W, seeking out conflict like this, means that you're probably not having such a great time. Because if you were, you'd be celebrating with your family. Donald Trump will not be good for you. We know this already because he was already president, and he wasn't. He'll be great for the wealthy. He'll be great for corporate interests. He won't be good for you. Whatever is good for corporate interests will never be good for you. Here, this is what you wanted me to play. There it is.
The Democratic Party has this profound skill in snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. It's an issue that they would not have had if they had leaned on where people were hurting and how they were going to help them. And they didn't do that. They went with a very conservative lean. The Democratic Party's like harm reduction strategy as a way to just like shame voters away from extracting concessions and just voting for the Democrats every single time without making any demands whatsoever, as they actively push a lot of people in the base of the party away. If you rely on that without offering things to people, well, then you're inevitably shrinking your base. Whether Trump wins or loses, we are, and I mean this, living in Trump's America. Like, he might lose this election, and the Democratic Party will push Trump's 2020 agenda. That's what they're running on. That to me is crazy. That to me is genuinely terrifying to think about.
Does that strike you as a guy who didn't expect this outcome? Does that strike you as a guy who was fucking coping and seething? Because, I mean, this is from October 20th. I've said these exact words many times over since the Democratic National Convention. So, no, I'm not coping, nor am I seething. I'm actually accurately telling you what is going to happen, just like I was warning back then about what is happening and what will most likely happen. I think a lot of young men have a lot of growing up to do. And I was once there myself, so I understand it. I know what it's like to feel vulnerable. I know what it's like to feel insecure about your prospects, insecure about the future. Self-assurance still comes from within. Confidence comes from within. You got to work on it. And consistently fucking lashing out at everyone around you is not going to help you. That's one of the major problems I see in a lot of young dudes, especially, who have just been captivated by Trump's false promises. Van Jones cried.
Saying, and I do see it differently because I'm thinking about the people who are not a part of anybody's elite who are hurting tonight. There are African-American women who...
Man, you don't give a fuck about any of these people. I'm sorry. I don't think he cares. I don't think...
know a little bit about being talked down to and know a little bit about having their economic dreams crushed, who tried to dream a big dream over the past couple of months. And tonight they're trading in a lot of hope for a lot of hurt.
He's slobbering all over it. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, dear Donald Trump and Melania Trump, congratulations on history's greatest comeback. Your historic return to the White House offers a new beginning for America and a powerful commitment to the great alliance between Israel and America. Yeah. Democrats invited this man to Washington, defended him as he committed war crimes, and voted to send him even more weapons despite the electoral risks. And this is his response. Yeah. Oh, by the way, watch. Democrats are going to become the anti-genocide party like that, okay? Over fucking night. They are going to become the number one anti-genocide guys like you wouldn't believe. Now that Donald Trump is overseeing this, oh my God. Oh, just you wait. Trump, a longtime source of division, calls on country to unite in an election night speech. And it begins. It begins. Okay. Yeah, he was real presidential tonight, boys. And here we are. Finally, the real unity candidate, dude. Oh, my God. I'll write about this in length soon, but the biggest story about this election is that there's just nothing to learn from it. There's no grand repudiation of a dynasty and decades-old consensus. It's just the opposition winning against an unpopular incumbent. Yes and no. I mean, I think that it is a deeply, deeply fucking calcified, unpopular ideology that is at the heart of the Democratic Party that would rather maintain order than dare to actually change things. But yeah, the broadest issue here is that Joe Biden was objectively unpopular. And yes, even if you swap the candidate out with another more dynamic person, if that person is not communicating a dynamic vision and you consistently run towards them, then yeah, you're gonna fucking lose. That's it. It's the Harry Enton analysis. He said, I want to know that there will be a lot of analysis as to why Harris is trailing right now. The answer to me is really simple. No incumbent party has ever won another term with so few Americans thinking the country is heading in the right direction. That is the simplest analysis. But the reality is Kamala Harris could have, in my opinion, overcome that because it seemed as though the American public was not ready to punish her for Joe Biden's administration until she started saying she is Joe Biden. Should the Dems have had an open primary? I think one of the greatest advantages that the Democratic Party had over the Republican Party was that they actually constituted order, like they showcased order. And that's why I said like the primary process would have been far too chaotic. But honestly, we would have gotten a better candidate than Kamala Harris. Or at the very least, we would have gotten a candidate that would have had to go through that process where they had to at least like get on board with more progressive policies, like force a candidate to take popular positions, whether they wanted it or not, doesn't matter. But then again, yeah, people in the chat are saying the DNC and Obama would have neutered a good candidate, and I feel like you're not wrong. In German media, they're already blaming the pro-Palestine movement for Trump's victory. I think it's so gross that everyone is immediately like, what's my pet peeve here? Jason Twitter calm kids, Aiden Ross, Nelk Boys, and Joe Rogan shout out on the podium on election night. Just another reason I thank fucking God I don't live in the U.S. What a sad leadership system y'all are stuck with. It's true. They're farting on us, dude. The rest of the world is looking at us like, what the fuck is going on? I think that things will eventually get better, but they certainly will be worse before they get better.